Mr. Kelly, will you speak to us, please? Will you speak to us? At the mics, please. At the mics. Thank you.
Thanks for the order, guys. I promise you we're going to straighten all of this stuff out. That's all I can say right now. I promise you.
Anything your fans?
I love my fans. Thanks for sticking there with me. Thank you guys for the order. I love y'all.
Kelly. Please look my hand, please. Oh,
Sure, I can answer some questions.
All right, that was R&B singer R.Kelly, who was released from jail. He was put in jail this week for failing to pay $160,000 in child support. We'll have much more from the scene there, potentially hearing from his attorney as well. We'll be following this story throughout the afternoon. And I think they're setting up the microphones here for his lawyer, who's about to speak at this point. As I mentioned, he had $160,000 back pay in child support. That money, we believe, was posted a little after 11 a.m. Let's listen in. This is outside the Cook County Sheriff's Office with his attorney.
Greenberg, So there's a couple things I want to say. As far as the child support matter, what was posted, the judge has entered a gag order, so we can't really talk about that. He's got a divorce lawyer. She'll be addressing those matters. They go back to court on Wednesday. I just want to touch for a moment on some of the other stuff that's been going on. There have been a lot of criticism. There's been a lot of criticism of Mr. Kelly. There's a lot of criticism of me. On both ends, I think it's unprofessional. I saw his former attorney, who is extraordinarily sick, made some comments yesterday. I understand that he's dying any day now, unfortunately, a great lawyer. His body is riddled with cancer. He's on heavy-duty painkillers. Some reporter went over to his house, allegedly to have some private conversation. The attorney denies saying what he was quoted saying. I can tell you that I personally have worked with that attorney for 30 years, interviewed with him when I was getting out of law school. He sent me people over the years. People shouldn't be criticizing other people. As far as all of the comments and sort of the pitchfork justice that's going on around here, people bringing up his old case and so on, it's disgusting. It's not what makes this country great. He was tried. He was acquitted. We don't retry people in this country. We don't punish people who've been acquitted. We don't try people in the court of public opinion. So we're going to focus on the evidence. We're going to fight the case in the courtroom. The state has yet to give us one single piece of evidence. We haven't seen an interview. We haven't seen a police report. We haven't seen a videotape. When we get those things, we're going to fight this case like we fight any other case in the courtroom based on the evidence. I'll take a couple of questions.
Kelly is facing some very serious charges, up to 70 years in prison. Do you think it helped his case to speak out?
You know, whatever this man does, people are going to criticize. People say, well, I'm going to answer your question. Okay? Whatever he does, people are going to criticize. So if he doesn't say anything, people are going to say he's not saying anything, because if he says anything, he's going to incriminate himself. If he does speak, people are going to say, how can you believe him? He's just saying whatever. If he cries, people are going to say they're fake tears. If some victim, I remember getting yelled at in that courthouse a couple of weeks ago, oh, these victims were crying on TV. How can you call them liars? They're crying. He was crying on TV. People want to call him a liar. I'm going to say the same thing. Because he's crying, it doesn't mean he's truthful or not truthful, because they're crying. It doesn't mean he's truthful or not truthful. The girls talk to the TV. Oh, it's rehearsed. They have Stockholm Syndrome. People don't even know what that means. They haven't seen their parents. He arranges. He doesn't arrange. The girls arrange. They're going to see their parents. Oh, that's all staged. That's all wrong, too. No matter what the man does, people are criticizing. So what is the man to do? That's what I ask you. He sat for an interview. He wanted to sit for that interview. He's not hiding.
Do you think it helped his case, though?
It doesn't help his case. It doesn't hurt his case. We are going to try this case in a courtroom, in the walls, on the rules of evidence, based on what they're going to present. We're not going out there and doing interviews to taint a jury pool, to not taint a jury pool, to help a case, to not help a case. The man sat for the interview. He answered the questions. People can think whatever they want based on that. They can make their own judgments. I can tell you that nobody who drew a judgment based on that interview is going to be on our jury and is going to be making the decision.
You talk about not seeing the evidence yet. When do you expect to see the tape or
I
the
expected
police
to see
report?
it 2 weeks ago. So when they give it to me, I'll see it.
Why is there a reduction in the child
Yes, we
support?
filed our motions for discovery.
Is there a reduction in the child support?
I'm sorry.
Is there a reduction in the child support amount that was given, or is there?
Is there a what?
We heard there might be a reduction in the amount the judge.
Well, you know, the child support, we're really not supposed to talk about that, but the man was paying $20,000 a month in child support. He paid it religiously until he couldn't make any more money because of all of these statements that are being made and all of the rumor and all of the innuendo and frankly because of the charges. So he paid the child support. He paid it year after year after year. Now what's going to happen going forward, if it's going to get reduced, if it's going to stay the same, that's not in my hands.
Steve, can you talk about the Detroit charges? Are you guys worried that there's another set of charges in a second jurisdiction? I
have no idea what's going on in Detroit. I haven't heard from anyone. I don't know anything about it. You know, it's basically, it's open season on R.Kelly. Everybody is now coming forward and saying, oh, I met this man and this is what happened. Look, there's no money for these people. There might be their 15 minutes of fame or whatever, but we could all make our own judgments about whether people are saying things because they're true or because they want their fame or whatever the reason is. Again, we're going to deal with it. If there's charges brought, I'm sorry, it's cold out. If there's charges brought anywhere in this country, we don't walk up. You know, I keep thinking of when I used to take my daughter, when she was a little kid, I took her to see Beauty and the Beast, and they walked up with pitchforks. I'm going to tell you guys a story of a case. I defended a guy in a death penalty case about 12 years ago. We saw the death penalty here in Illinois, okay? We won that case. Not only did we beat the death penalty, he was found not guilty. He went home. He got in his car. He went to a gas station to fill up his car after spending 7 years in jail, and he was shot dead at the gas station. The prosecutor on that case went to that man's wake. That was not justice. The justice is what happens in the courtroom. That's how we decide cases in this country, and that's what we should be doing.
Can you tell us what the
Hold
next
Hold on. I'm not Trump. I can't listen.
If you have not received any evidence yet, how can you be so certain that there is no case?
I didn't say there is no case or there is a case. What I'm telling you is if they have the evidence, show it to me, and we will address it in court. We will address it in court. Attorneys shouldn't be flying into our jurisdiction who aren't subject to our ethical rules and making wild statements or any statements about a case. They should let the process play out.
Why haven't they given you the evidence?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them why they haven't tendered anything.
Talk about Mr. Kelly's mental state. I mean, he just got out. You know, what's going on in his life? Is he staying in
Look,
Chicago for now?
nobody wants to be in jail. I'm sure that Mr. Kelly is going to do whatever he needs to do to maintain his own sanity under the circumstances.
Does he regret losing his temper on camera with Gail?
I have not talked to him about that interview with Gail King. Obviously, he went into custody, I think the same day that the interview first aired. I wasn't there when he was doing the interview, but I don't think he regrets.
You weren't there?
Do you think it was
I'm
a mistake
sorry.
to do an interview as his attorney?
I think that Mr. Kelly should be able to speak out however Mr. Kelly wants to speak out, and if that's what he wants to do, that's what he can do. He is innocent. He's got a presumption of innocence. You know, let me tell you something else. I got criticized for saying that all the people are lying. This is what the law tells us, and I'm a lawyer, so I'm going to tell you what the law tells you to do, okay? People are cloaked with the presumption of innocence, not a presumption of guilt, a presumption of innocence. And a judge tells a jury when that jury walks into the courtroom, is you look at that man here now, he is presumed innocent. You have to presume him innocent. You can't prejudge anything. And what people are doing is they are prejudging things. The man is innocent. The presumption is that he's innocent. As he stood here before you today, he's an innocent man. He's an innocent man. And people should just understand that. That is the difference in our system. Go to one of these third world nations where you have to prove your innocence and see how they function. Folks, go to Venezuela, go to North Korea, go to what used to be communist Russia. Try and see their system, and then see if you like this system better or that system.
Walk us through the system. Where are you right now with the child support? You'll be in court on Wednesday, and then you'll be in court next week.
You'll be in court on Wednesday on the child support. You'll be in court here on the 22nd on the criminal case, and we'll go from there.
What are your goals? Are you taking over?
I expect there to just be a continuance on each of them, actually. And you know, this is going to take quite a while to sort through.